Oh man, that's such a killer solo. So that's The Shake by King Curtis. It's a classic rock and roll gutsy solo. And today what we're going to do is really dig into that solo. I'm going to pull it apart, show you the parts of it that I think are really important stylistically. We're going to learn a few parts from it as well, and also understand how we can absorb some elements of that style into our own playing. Now this is important if you're into rock and roll sax, but you know what? You can apply it to just about any style of saxophone, whether that's blues or jazz or pop playing even. It just helps us to become better saxophone players and understand how to incorporate elements from other great players into our own playing. So lots to talk about today. I've also got a PDF for you that you can download so you can learn this amazing solo too. Right, let's get stuck in. G'day, it's Nigel here from Sax School. Thanks so much for joining me for another one of these videos. I really do love making these videos, so let me know in a comment if you're finding this helpful or if you've got some other suggestions of content you'd like me to make. Now, there is a free PDF for today's lesson, and that's available from our locker. That's where we keep all of the free resources from our channel. There's actually loads and loads of stuff in there. There's a link down below where you can go and grab that, or you can also find a link for it on the courses page of our website, which is saxschoolonline.com. So why are we talking about rock and roll sax? Well, every month in Sax School we focus on a different style, and this month in Sax School, with our thousands of members, we're talking about rock and roll sax. And in fact, King Curtis is one of the artists that we've been talking about. There's a fantastic video that Dean from my tutor team made recently about King Curtis. You can check that out on the channel up on here, but don't go yet, go check it out later, okay? Also inside Sax School, we talk about lots of other rock and roll artists like Lee Allen, Red Prysock, Boots Randolph. He's a fantastic saxophone player in that style too. So our students are learning a challenge song in the style of King Curtis, but I wanted to dig in a little bit further and look at this solo, which I also think is an amazing example of a great rock and roll solo. You see, the thing about rock and roll sax is it's beautiful and simple, but so powerful. And there's so many elements in a great rock and roll sax solo that you can apply to like contemporary rock sax or to blues saxophone and even to jazz sax and definitely to funk playing. Because it's the structure of the playing, it's the intent, it's the rhythm, it's the melodic ideas that are being used in there. It's all so applicable to other styles, and that's why I think it's really important to dig so closely into a specific solo like this one. Right, let's get stuck in with the solo. So this tune, The Shake, is off an album by King Curtis called Have Tenor Will Blow. It came out in 1959, a really fantastic album. There's some great tracks on here. So let's have a listen to the very first phrase. Here it goes now. Yeah, so cool. I love the way he's using one melodic idea and then he plays it a second time, right? Now this is something that happens all the way through this solo, and I think it's such an important thing for us to remember when we're improvising. You don't need to be coming up with something new in every single bar. You can take one idea and you can reuse it, and that's exactly what King Curtis is doing. So if we have a look here, this is the first phrase, starts here and goes down to here. So you can see this phrase here, da 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 da, do 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 da da da. Then he plays it again here, just a little bit shorter. And the other thing that I think is really, really interesting is this is in the key of B flat concert, which puts the tenor saxophone in the key of C. It's a 12-bar blues and there's just two choruses of it. So if you think about it, 12-bar blues in C for tenor, the first chord, it's a C. And that's what King Curtis is using in his solo. He's finishing the phrase here on a C. He does it the same, he uses a C here, he's using the C there, and he's starting the phrase there on the 7th note, which is the B flat. So if we play it really, really slowly, this is what that line sounds like. So there's a couple of really interesting things that are going on in there. First of all, he's growling all the way through there. So he's using that ah sort of thing in the back of his throat. And he's also doing a really cool sort of bendy smear thing with those grace notes between the F and the E flat. Let me show you. So that's just at this part here, and it sounds like this. So there's a really quick F up to G, back to F, before he goes on with the phrase. And he uses those sorts of things a lot. The other thing that I think is really, really cool, actually, is the other one here, where he's using the flat 3, which is the E flat, then going up to the E natural, which is the normal third in the C chord, C, E, G, B flat. So that sounds like this. Oh man, I love that. So it's quickly going from the E flat to the E. Da, do, da, do, da. Love it. Let's see what he does next. Oh, that's mega, isn't it? That's mega. Okay, let's have a look at what he's doing on the music. So that's the phrase here down to here. Now we're going up into the altissimo here, and he's landing right up in this high G up here. But really what he's doing is he's aiming for the next chord in the 12-bar blues, which is our F chord, okay? And if you notice, he's landing on the 5th of the F7 chord, the C. So if we think about the notes in an F7 chord, it's just F, A, C, and E flat, and he's landing right on that C. It's so simple. There's nothing really complicated harmonically that's going on there, but he's got so much energy, particularly when he hits that high G and the high A, and also it's very, very rhythmical. So he's landing back on the C here at bar 6, right on the beat, and that makes it sound so secure. Let's listen to what happens next. Oh man, that is awesome. Now, one of the things I really love about King Curtis, and I find difficult, is he's got very, very fast tonguing. So let's have a look at what's happening in the music here. So first of all, this bit here, I love this. So he's playing it really da 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 da. I can't tongue that fast, but he really nails it. The other thing that I think is really cool about this phrase is it's very rhythmical, right? But then it's this note here, this smear. So from the F sharp bending down to the E flat. Have a listen. Now I love that, so powerful. So for the smear, what he's doing is he's hitting the F sharp right on the note, and then he's relaxing his embouchure to bar, to bend down off it. And that gives it that lovely sort of, I don't know, it sounds like it fits right in, and it sounds more vocal as well. And then da 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 at the end. If you can tongue that fast, good on you. So I'm just going to play that whole phrase through, see if we can put those elements in together. Here we go. Okay, pretty cool. By the way, I'm using a different reed today. I've got sent some reeds by D'Addario called Ven. They're their new synthetic reeds, and I'm just checking them out. What do you think about the sound? Let me know in a comment. I'm digging it so far. What do you think? Okay, let's go on to the next phrase. Okay, how's that for simplicity? I mean, we're finishing out the end of the first chorus of 12-bar blues in the solo, and he's got this really, really simple line that just repeats. So we're talking about here, down to there. And what's really, really cool is he's using the one line, da-da-do, ya da-da, and then he does it again. Dee-da-do-ya-do, do-da-da-da-da. And he finishes off with some more King Curtis fast tonguing in there, okay? So the first thing I want to tell you here is that he's using the same idea twice. And that's really great because, again, it comes back to our idea of reusing melody or melody ideas or little snippets in our solos, which I think is such a powerful technique with improvising. The second thing I want to point out to you is that he's using very, very simple notes from the chords. So here, what we're talking about is the third, okay? And so the key of G, or the chord of G, the notes are G, B, D, and F, and he's using the B natural. And here, over the F chord, we've got exactly the same thing. So we've got the third of the chord, and that's the A. So if you think about an F chord, it's F, A, C, E flat, and we're using the A. So we're using really, really simple notes, but it's the way he's using them that makes it sound so effective. So he's very, very rhythmical, and then he's got those great big bends up to those thirds as well. So let's have a look. If I play it slowly, let's see if we can hear what's going on. Oh man, that's so simple. When you look at it like that, it's really, really simple what he's doing. But when you listen to it in context, it sounds so amazing. Okay, so we're learning some really cool things about King Curtis here right out the gate. In his first chorus, the first half of the solo, he's using melody ideas over and over and over. He's using simple chord notes. He's using the flat 3 as well as the natural 3. He's using bends, scoops, and smears and grace notes to really add the color to the sound. But most importantly, it's really, really rhythmical. Everything he plays is right on the beat. Let's have a listen to the second chorus. Oh man, that is such a cool phrase. Now again, did you notice he's playing the same thing basically 3 times? Let's look at the music. Okay, so this phrase starts here and it goes down to here. So you can see this is the idea the first time. Do do da do do da. And then he does it a second time up to the G this time. Da 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 da. And then a third time. Da do do da. Same as the first time, right? So 3 times in total. And then he finishes off with this lovely little flurry with again some King Curtis fast tonguing. And look at what he's doing. He's using the flat 3 and then the natural 3 as well there. So let's have a listen to what that sounds like a little bit slower. Now I have to admit, I find that last line really hard to play. It feels really unnatural to me. But when you look at what's happening with the notes, it makes perfectly good sense. It's a pretty cool line, and I guess this is why we transcribe things too, because sometimes things go past our ear and we don't really think about it, but when we actually dig into it and look at the notes, we think, oh, that's what they're doing. It makes sense, and we can assimilate it into our playing. Let's keep going. Oh man, so did you feel how rhythmical that is? It's just right in the pocket all the way through. And not only did he play the same line once or twice or 3 times, he actually played it 4 times, right? Let's look at what's going on in the music here. So we're talking about this section here. Do da do 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 da da. That's 1. Da do do da da. That's 2. A little bit of pickup. Do 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 da da. That's 3. Do 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 da da. 4 times, and it's basically the same notes, right? But we're changing chords. We're going from the F chord here, so we're starting on the E flat, which is the 7th. Do do da da, do do da da, do do da, and then we go to the C chord here, still on the E flat. This time it's the flat 3, right? But he's using the same note between 2 chords. That's a great technique for making sort of lines feel continuous between chord changes, right? So now we're on the flat 3, but it's still the E flat. Do do da da, down to the G this time. Da 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 do da da. Awesome. Let's have a listen to it really slowly and see what it sounds like. Man, that's really, really simple, but when you hear it in context, it sounds awesome. What does he do after this? Oh man, love that. Every phrase I say the same thing. I love it. It sounds so cool. He's got that great big bend up to that high G here, okay? And then again, one of those really simple flat 3 and natural 3 lines as we lead down into the new chord. So we're going down from the G chord to the F chord, and he's got that E flat to E natural, C, G, F. So what's really interesting is when he's on the G chord here, he's playing a G, And when he's on the F chord here, he's playing an F, right? But just clear this up a bit. You can see there's a G chord here and an F chord here. He's playing a G here, and he's playing an F here, right? And in between, he's got that E flat, the E natural little triplet line, and it's right in the pocket as well. Awesome. Right, let's finish off the solo now with the last little section. Okay, so this is a bit complicated to write down, and I don't quite know what he's doing, but he's basically doing a crotchet or a quarter note triplet. And that's where we've got 3 notes in the time of 2, but they're 3 one-count notes in the time of 2. So if this is your beat, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And he kind of bends them around a little bit time-wise. But effectively what we're doing is the G, we're playing a G with an F-sharp grace note into it, okay? And then a little flurry at the end. If we look at the music, we've got this little flurry at the end just to take us back to our home key of C. And again, we've got the F, E flat, and then the C, B flat, and the C. So we're bringing it right back to the tonic, the root note of the chord, the C chord at the end of the solo. Makes the listener feel very comfortable. Okay, so I'm just going to play through that little phrase for you and show you what it sounds like. So in the music, we're talking about this section from here down to here. Okay, this is what it sounds like. The other thing I think is really, really cool about that last line is he's got all of that sort of, it's a bit wafty when he's doing the triplets. It's like completely out of time, and then he finishes the solo, dabba-dooba-dooba-da, right on the time, okay? And that helps, if you think about this music, it's dancing music effectively. So that helps the dancers and the band and everyone to feel like, wow, I'm locked in, I know exactly where the beat is, I feel comfortable with it. And it feels like a resolution to an awesome solo. Right, just to finish off then, I'm going to play through the second chorus of this solo and see if I can incorporate all those elements. Here we go. Oh man, what an awesome solo. I hope you found that useful today. There's so many things in there, if we think about all the stuff we talked about today, that you can apply to your own playing. So using ideas over and over again. So recycling musical ideas. Thinking about sticking to simple note choices that fit in the chord, okay? King Curtis is using root notes, he's using thirds, he's using sevenths, nothing really, really fancy. About keeping your solos very, very rhythmical, because it makes the solo make more sense, it makes the audience understand it, it makes it groovier, okay? It just feels better. He's also using bends, scoops, smears to decorate the solo and to give it a lot of character. Even just incorporating those elements into your playing would make such a big difference, doesn't matter what style that you're playing in. So I really hope you found that useful. Don't forget to grab the transcription. It's in our locker at Sax School online.com/courses. If you go there, you'll be able to find the locker, register for it. It's completely free. Download that transcription and have fun with it. And please send me a message and let me know how you get on with it too. I'd love to know. And if you are interested to find out more about what we're doing with Sax School, because we are digging into rock and roll this month, and if that's your jam, then you should check out what we're doing by grabbing the 14-day trial. It's running as I'm recording this video. You can get that from the courses page at saxschoolonline.com too. And it's a brilliant way to come and see the lessons, get involved with a masterclass, reach out to our tutors for some help, get involved with our community, see all the stuff that we're doing in Sax School. There's over 1,000 lessons and courses in there to keep you busy. Most importantly though, have fun with your saxophone, keep practicing hard. I'll catch you next time.